Okay, I call this meeting to order of the Union County Board of County Commissioners, Thursday, April 8th, 2021, agenda meeting. At this time, I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Garrettson, Commissioner Granados,
Here.
Commissioner Hudak,
Here.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Here.
Commissioner Leone,
Here.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Here.
Commissioner Staton, Vice Chair Williams,
Here.
and Chairman Mirabella.
Present.
Chairman, you have 7 commissioners present, and we have an 8th connecting right now with Commissioner Staton.
Okay, very good. Please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and while we are all putting our videos back on, clerk, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Yes, Chairman. The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstance, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Good evening and welcome to another remote meeting of the Commissioner Board in Union County. We have a number of programs that we'd like to update for you, but I'd like to start with a reminder for everyone in the Union County family to remember to continue to wear your mask, observe social distancing, and do everything you can to keep from catching or spreading the COVID-19 virus. Yes, the vaccines are here and the supply of vaccines is increasing. However, many people are still unprotected. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. These are our friends, neighbors, and family members. Please do your part to protect them and yourself. Wear a mask and keep your distance. And now some updates for you on our COVID vaccination program. As you may know, the governor has opened vaccine eligibility to all persons 16 age and older beginning on April 19th. If you're already eligible, I encourage you to keep checking with the Union County Vaccine Center to make an appointment online. You can also find the link on the county website at ucnj.org. If you don't have internet access, you can reach the vaccine center by phone at 908-613-7829. Appointments book up quickly, so please check often as you can. We are also increasing outreach to under-vaccinated communities. This week, in a joint effort with FEMA, we are focusing on residents of Elizabeth, Hillside, Linden, Roselle, Union, as well as Plainfield. In addition, our mobile vaccine unit is working to provide vaccines for seniors and other vulnerable members of our community, including the homeless. We are supporting the efforts statewide to ensure that school populations are fully vaccinated. On Tuesday, the mobile unit conducted a vaccination drive for hundreds of educators of school staff in Union County. We also continue to hold emergency food distribution events each month for thousands of households impacted by the pandemic. We have 3 events coming up in Elizabeth, Scotch Plains, and Plainfield. The details for these details, check the county website or follow on social media. Turning now to more routine matters, the Union County recreation programs are continuing with COVID safety guidelines. Please check our website for details on a free drive-in concert next Saturday with the Grateful Dead tribute band, Splintered Sunlight. I know the county manager and I are looking forward to that show particularly. Outdoor nature programs at Trailside Center. And for the Union County Falcon Cam, which provides a live stream of the peregrine falcon nest on the roof of the county courthouse. There are 4 eggs in the nest, and we're looking forward to seeing them hatch. I know a lot of school children look at that cam and follow the progress. This month, we're also supporting 3 national campaigns of great importance to the community and to this commissioner board. April has been designated as Autism Acceptance Month, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Alcohol Awareness Month. You can find more information on all 3 of these campaigns on the county website, on our social media, and in displays at the lobby at the administration building. We encourage everyone to help support the alcohol awareness campaign by wearing purple on April 16th. And please show your support for sexual assault campaign by wearing denim on April 28th. As Earth Day approaches, I would also like to remind everyone that our recycling schedules are in full swing. For quick links to recycling events hosted by Union County and many other environmental activities and programs, you can visit the Green Connection page on the county website at ucnj.org/green connection. Lastly, I'd like to draw your attention to the gun safety movement. The Commissioner Board has worked for years with Moms Demand Action and other local grassroots advocates to press for new legislation and new programs that prevent gun violence and protect those at harm. And today, President Biden announced 6 new executive actions that will bring us closer to these goals. These actions mark a significant, long-awaited step toward a common sense approach to gun safety. And so on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank the local Moms Demand Action volunteers who have worked so hard for so many years and pushed for this action. Your commitment of time, energy has truly achieved something remarkable. Now let's turn to tonight's business and everything on the agenda. I'd like to start with the Office of the Prosecutor, and sitting in for Prosecutor Rotolo is the First Assistant, Doreen Yannick. Oh, and before we go to Doreen, before we do that, I want to acknowledge Commissioner Garrettson has joined the call. Commissioner, thank you. Madam First Assistant, can you please go ahead?
I certainly will. Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. The Union County Prosecutor's Office has 5 proposed resolutions for this evening. I'm available. Should any of the members of the board have any questions, I can provide those answers. Otherwise, I would submit for your consideration.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? I'm going to my hands up area. I don't see any. Thank you, First Assistant. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and we'll move on to the Office of our Sheriff, and that is Sheriff Pete Corvelli.
Good evening, Chairman and County Commissioners. The Office of the Sheriff has 2 resolutions on tonight's agenda for your consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions for the Sheriff? All right, Sheriff, thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
We'll move on to the Department of Engineering, Public Works, and Facilities Management. And Grandpa Graziano is not on the line, but I know Tom Minio is on the line. So Tom, I'm sure you'll go through the director's resolution. So let me turn it over to Tom Minio.
Hello, this is Tom Minio. The Department of Engineering, Public Works, and Engineering Management has 5 resolutions on the agenda for your consideration.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom? All right, Tom, thanks.
You're welcome.
The Department of Human Services and Director Debbie Ann Anderson.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. The Department of Human Services has 3 on tonight, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for Director Anderson? Yes, Commissioner Mudet.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Director. I'm curious, number one, how many meals on wheels per week are we providing to the county approximately?
So approximately for the Meals on Wheels program, we're servicing about 1,319 in residents in Union County.
And has that number increased since COVID or decreased since COVID?
It has increased. Typically, it was around 750 to 800 meals, but then there's been a spike. But that's Meals on Wheels. We have about another 1,000 residents that are homebound that get frozen meals delivered from the state.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's move to Commissioner Granados.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Director Anderson, I know when it comes to number 3, it's been beneficial to our youth. Can you just elaborate on that program?
Sure, Commissioner. So this is really a program that is going to be engaging in-school youth through intensive work activity and preparing them for career training. The partnerships is going to be specific Board of Education partners, especially the City of Plainfield, Board of Education of Plainfield, Board of Education in Elizabeth. Their students are going to learn how to do Microsoft certification programs, working with over almost 40 to 50 youth, and then providing them with training. They get a certification and they also get opportunity to get placed in a job.
Yeah, I know this has been a beneficial program to many of our Union County youth, and it's great to see you keep going in partnership with United Way. So thank you, Director. Thank you, Chairman.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair Williams, I don't know if you have a question.
Actually, the question that Commissioner Granados asked was my question, but I do just have one brief follow-up for Director Anderson. When you say 40 to 50 or so youth, is that per school district or is that the total?
It's a total program.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. That's all I have, Chair.
Okay, very good. All right, anything else? No, Director, thank you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the Department of Parks and Recreation, and that is Director Zuber.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Department of Parks and Recreation has 1 item on tonight's agenda, and I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Director, can you just go and just give a kind of a high-level overview of this particular resolution? It's a little confusing to me.
Sure. Zimmerman Park is located on Morris Avenue at the foot of Lehigh Avenue. It's where the Chinese buffet used to be, if you remember. There's right there where the 50 units are going up. Well, there's a industry next door on the other side of the park that was leaking groundwater, contaminated groundwater into our park. We did a resolution in 2018 to monitor those wells. DEP came back and said they need to do more monitoring. So this is a DEP requirement to either add another monitoring well or use the ones that they're currently using, but they need the access.
Okay. All right. Well explained. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see anybody else. So thank you, Director. We'll move on to the Department of Public Safety, and that is Director Andrew Moran.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. Department of Public Safety has 3 resolutions on for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, Director, thank you. I will call on Commissioner Garrettson.
Yes, could you just elaborate on 1 and 2 a little?
Certainly, these are both UASI funded projects. The first one is actually the first type of training that we're doing for firefighters in the UASI region, or this type of training for combating high-rise fires. It's a command and control class for officers within the fire departments. We're not sure how many Union County firefighters are attending this course because it hasn't been set yet. Obviously, COVID has presented some training challenges. Traditionally, these 100 officers would all meet at one location and take the class together. The plan is to divide it up into 4 separate classes of 25, but there is also a virtual possibility where more departments could participate and more firefighters could train, but it would just be virtual. So those details haven't been set yet. Number 2 is a firefighter training program that we've been doing for years, sending firefighters from the UASI region, and this includes Union County firefighters down to Texas A&M University, which has one of the most realistic training grounds in the nation for large-scale firefighting and the use of foam for combating fires.
Okay, all right, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Director. Let's move on now to the Office of the County Council, Bruce Bergen.
Thank you, Chairman, board members, good evening. County Council has 2 resolutions on tonight. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for the County Council? Doesn't appear so, Bruce, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move right to the Office of the County Manager, and that's County Manager Oatman.
Thank you, Chairman. I have 2 items on tonight's agenda. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for our County Manager? Okay, seeing none, thank you, County Manager.
Thanks, Chairman.
I see our commissioner-sponsored resolutions there for all of you to take a look at. I don't know if there's any questions and comments. If I don't see any, we will close this meeting. So I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the agenda meeting.
Chair,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to add the resolution that was added on for Kyle Abercrombie, Reverend Al Abercrombie. He actually was a long-term Hillside resident. He moved to Hillside 3rd grade the year that WOK actually was renamed. He is a truly big personality that will be missed. And I just wanted to note for the board that he was there from 3rd to 12th grade and beyond, but he truly was transformational in the community. So I just wanted to make that note. Thank you.
Thank you for highlighting that, Commissioner. I appreciate that. Anything else on our commissioner-sponsored resolutions? Okay. All right. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So, second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Kowalski, seconded by the Vice Chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we're going to finish this meeting, and we will go, I think, Jimmy, right into the second meeting. Is that right? Do you need any time or anything?
That is correct, Chair. We can go directly into the regular meeting.
All right, so that we will do. I'll call this meeting to order of the Union County Board of County Commissioners, Thursday, April 8th, 2021, regular meeting agenda. And Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Chair, for the point of order, prior to doing the roll call, if you may, I'd like to just announce that while we can go directly into the meeting, we must hold off on opening up the ordinance for adoption until 5:30. So we're going to have to skip, when we get to that point, skip the ordinance and then come back to it, okay?
All right, very good. We'll do that then. That's right, because I know it's advertised for that time.
Thank you.
Yep.
As for the roll call for the regular meeting, Commissioner Garrettson,
Yes, here.
Commissioner Granados,
Here.
Commissioner Hudak,
Here.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Here.
Commissioner Leone,
Here.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Here.
Commissioner Staton,
Here.
Vice Chair Williams,
Here.
and Chairman Mirabella.
Present.
Chairman, there are 9 commissioners present.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. While we're turning our video on, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstance to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2021 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. May I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Chair, second, please.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kowalski. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Garrettson,
Yes.
Commissioner Granados,
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Leone,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
Chairman, there are 9 votes in the affirmative for the communications.
All right, very good. So as the clerk mentioned, we will move over the ordinance part and we will go right to the public comment. So I will ask for a motion to suspend the rules to allow for the joining of both the public comment on resolutions being offered for adoption and the public comment on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of this county into one public comment session.
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Chair. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Muedad. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Garrettson,
Yes.
Commissioner Granados,
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Leone,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative for the suspension of the rules.
Very good. So we'll move on to the meeting is now open to the public for anyone wishing to speak on resolutions being offered for adoption or any other matter. I believe we have 2 people that have signed up to address the board. Remember that there is a 5-minute time limit, and please state your name and town of residence. I do know, Mr. Clerk, that there's one person, I believe, who just submitted comments. I believe that's true. If you can then read those comments right now, then we'll move on to the next person.
Chairman, that is accurate. I received public comments to be read into the record by Mr. John Burry, and his email is as such. As per the instructions on the website, I prefer not to participate in the teleconference, but have 2 questions for the record of the commissioners at the April 8th, 2021 meeting regarding the 2021 budget. The questions are below. In regard to the amount budgeted for county contributions to the Public Employees Retirement System, PERS, and the Police and Firemen's Retirement System, PFRS, the amounts listed on sheet 21 are $17,819,400 and $17,004,791. However, per the state website, and he lists the website, the amounts billed and payable in April 2021 were $17,669,400 and $16,688,596 respectively. Question 1, to where is the additional $150,000 and $316,195 respectively budgeted? Question 2, going back to the 2007 payments and including these for the 2021, Union County has reported $1,943,150 in payments greater than what the state billed. Who got this additional money? And then he says backup data is attached. 1, appropriation pages on PERS and PFRS contributions going back to 2005. 2, listing of PERS deposits taken from check registry data compared to budget amounts by year. And 3, listing of PFRS deposits taken from check registry data compared to budgeted amounts by year. That is the end of Mr. Burry's email to the board.
Okay, I will call on Director Taylor to address those questions.
Sure. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. Through you, Chairman. It's important to note that the annual pension bill that we receive and that's due every April 1st of the year is as a result of the second calendar quarter report of contributions for the prior 2 years of employee activity. So for example, the bill due on April 1st, 2013 are based on the March 31st, 2011 report contributions. So whenever we receive a bill from the state, we pay it, as do all public entities, on April 1st. However, the public entities also receive what are called retro bills as a result of any settlements that occur prior to that bill being rendered in due. So what you have is a variance that naturally occurs. In order to cover that variance, Union County has consistently adopted a buffer to pay and meet that obligation. The buffer for PERS has been $150,000. The buffer for PFRS has been approximately $300,000. We don't know what that retro payment is until we get the bill, which is throughout the year after the budget typically has been struck. Any balances in the PFRS or PERS bill line item lapses to the unappropriated area. It stays in reserve. There's no way you can spend that money other than payment to the state of New Jersey, Department of Treasury, Division of Pension and Benefits.
So it's more of an estimate, and then you reconcile it once you get the real numbers, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. Very good. Okay, so I think that explains Mr. Burry's inquiries. Mr. Clerk, who is next?
Chairman, we have one individual signed in to our meeting, to join our meeting, one by audio and one on video. Mr. Bruce Patterson.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Mr. Patterson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board. This is Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Okay, running the resolutions first before that ordinance. Resolution 271. This is for a shared service agreement between the UCUA and the UCOHM for CEHA work program components for 10 years. 10 years is a long time. Can you give the public details of this agreement and why is there no cost involved? Resolution 272. This is giving railroad construction a contract to replace the Gordon Street Bridge for $7.4 million. This planning goes way back to 2011, so it's a long time coming, and is very important traverse between Roselle and Roselle Park. The $7.4 million is direct cost, but from past resolutions, I remember there were other costs involved, such as buying land. I think that was near the bridge. So totaling all the ancillary costs up, what is the total cost of this project, if anyone knows? Resolution 286, it's a lawsuit for $45,000 in legal costs titled Reginald Curry versus Union County et al. Can someone give an overview of what this is and exactly who are the et al.? This is Resolution 287. This is a beginning lawsuit for $10,000 in legal costs titled Justin Maranka versus the Union County Prosecutor's Office, Union County, and et al. Can you please give an overview of what this is and exactly who are the et al.? Resolution 289. This is for shared service of a DPW manager between the county and Kenilworth. It sounds like, does this involve the county employee Mike Brennan? If so, now that he does not work full-time for the county, is the county cutting his salary to be part-time paid? Resolution 290. This is appointing Commissioner Hudak's wife to the UCIA board. Appointing shills like wives and relatives with no experience of commissioners to supposedly independent authorities, it's just raw corruption in my eyes. I don't know, whoever supports this is just as bad as Hudak is doing this. So I really ask you to vote no on it. The budget. I had a chance to review the introduced 2021 county budget and have comments and questions today and we'll have more when the full budget is to be approved. My comments are that this 2021 budget appears to be in different format than the other years. Page numbers do not match from the other years. It's double-sided, which does save printing costs, so thank you. And all the pages are numbered now. The other years, the front pages weren't, so thank you for that also. The CAPS calculation appears to be set up differently, although the county is still using the 1977 CAP format when it appears they should be using the more stringent 2010 format like all the towns are using. You're not using any bank cap. However, for the first time, we see the county is drawing on the COLA increase utilization of $6.3 million that achieves our taxes to be under cap. Nowhere does this COLA number show how it is derived, and that's what I would like to know. Some strange items jump out, raising questions. Examples, the county manager's salary and wage item went up $2.6 million or 700%. Jersey Gardens franchise fee was cut by 75%, which contractually is illegal. And by the way, they are also getting CARES money to boot. We find a discrepancy of $6.3 million in insurance costs between the total shown on pages 3D and 13C, even after the $5.5 million in government contributions, in employee contributions. For another year, the monies we received as revenues from the UCOA is only $500,000, where it was approved to be $2 million a year. The thievery continues. The funding to UCIA went up 700% for $2 million. So this is new thievery. The capital improvement went from $50 million down to $6 million. So it's a $9 million drop. One suspect item is a sick leave dollar accumulation on page 3G. Went from $800,000 last year to $3.2 million this year, increase of 300%. If everybody was working from home last year, there should have been a major drop in sick leave since they are all home all year. This appears to be gift money along with the extra stipends, the bank vacation pay, and even the 2% raise on top. All while the private sector people are out of work and hurting financially. Final question. Is the county is receiving like $129 million in stimulus monies this year. Unsure if it's over 2 years. I do not actually see that reflected in the budget. So thank you very much.
Okay, let's address some of these comments. I think we'll start with Director Moran. Utilities Authority work.
Yes, Chairman. This is replacing a 10-year agreement that we had with the UCUA because our health department is the enforcement arm for DEP through the County Environmental Health Act. We do the enforcement authority for our solid waste disposal. There is a compensation for the service. We get paid $150,000 a year from the UCUA, and there's an agreement to split any fines 50-50 between the county and UCUA.
Okay. All right, Director, thank you. Move to Tom Minio on the bridge question. Is there anything you can add, Tom, to the Gordon Street Bridge conversation that Mr. Patterson brought up?
Yes, I can. The project, he's asking beyond the actual construction, what monies were expended. This is a federal project, and it's being funded by the federal government through the NJTPA, and it does involve a number of requirements to get the project moving. We did a scoping phase and a design phase, a right-of-way phase, and a utility acquisition or utility phase to move the utilities. And in addition to that, when the construction starts, we're going to have a resident engineer on the site. So the total cost above the $7.4 million, the total cost will be $10.6 million.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I know that's been an ongoing conversation between the county, the boroughs of Roselle and Roselle Park. It was deemed an orphan bridge. Nobody wanted to take responsibility, but it is a significant overpass, and we needed to address it, and I'm glad we are. Do you have anything else, Tom, you want to add to that?
No, not really. It is an orphan bridge. We took that bridge on as thanks to the, what used to be the freeholder board and now the commissioner board. And I appreciate, I used to appreciate.
Nope, very good. Thank you, Tom, for your comments. Appreciate you. Let's move on to, I think County Council Bergen has the next one.
Thank you, Chairman. Just briefly, the Reginald Curry matter is a litigation by a former jail inmate who claims he was not provided services he was entitled to. There is no merit to his action, and so this is being litigated, and that's obviously we have to pay the attorney who's handling it. For the commissioner's information, in fact, we have filed a summary judgment motion to get this matter dismissed some months ago. Unfortunately, the case is being handled by Judge Salas, who is a federal court judge whose son was murdered, and it's still with her. So we really don't know when that decision will be made, but that is pending, and we are fighting that case. The other one, and he has two of the et als are. As with every case against the county, plaintiff generally names a department head, one or more people down the line in the department, as well as the county itself. So that's who the et als are. They're really all county parties, so we have representation of all of them. The Maranka matter, this is actually a case that was settled some months ago. The plaintiff's attorney has filed an ancillary action which has no merit. It's barred by the settlement. So we're hoping that this will be taken care of rather quickly. But unfortunately, we do have to defend the action, and we've rehired the same attorney who handled the original action, so we can hopefully get it done expeditiously.
Okay, thank you. Very comprehensive. I appreciate that. County Manager, can you address the Kenilworth question?
Of course, Chairman, this is a 3-month extension requested by the Borough of Kenilworth, and is no different than any other shared service agreement we have with other counties providing the same service. Sorry, other municipalities.
All right, very good. Thank you, County Manager. I'll take the next one. And quite frankly, I believe we're very fortunate that Mrs. Hudak is interested and willing to serve on the Utilities, the Improvement Authority. A woman of this great need with a lot of options of where to spend her time. We're very fortunate that she's willing to help us and serve on the Improvement Authority. Her resume is spectacular. She's well qualified. I don't think the fact that she is married to a commissioner should preclude her service, and I wouldn't preclude anyone else's service either. So I'm delighted with this appointment. I think it makes terrific sense for the county and for the Improvement Authority. I'm sure she'll be a terrific commissioner. On the budget, I'm sure I appreciate that Mr. Patterson is happy with the new format of the budget. And I'll ask Director Taylor if she wants to comment on any particular part of his comments. I'll leave it up to you, Director.
Thank you. Through you, Chairman. First, it's important to note that Mr. Patterson is conflating the authorization of a bond ordinance and/or a capital ordinance with a capital budget. The capital budget consistent with that's encompassed in sheet 29, A through F, really is just an itemization of projects that we plan and/or are under review in this coming budget year. It does not authorize the issuance of debt. It has no correlation to the capital ordinance that's on for consideration this evening. The capital ordinance that is on, however, is being funded as a result of all of the ordinances that we've previously canceled when projects were complete and we would close out the books. If those were funded, those pieces of the funded ordinances would lapse to capital surplus. And we've done that throughout the years in order to build up what is essentially a nest egg, so that way we don't have to issue debt for projects. As it relates to the government complex, that project is anticipated to save approximately over $100 million as a result of coming out of leases. So when we're issuing the debt for this project, the debt that we're authorizing is $120 million, and we're using capital surplus and capital improvement funds in order not to have to issue debt for the additional $16.7 million associated with the project. So it's actually sound financial practices so that we don't have to issue debt and incur the interest associated with that component of the project. As it relates to the accumulated absence liability that's in the budget, it's important to note that Mr. Patterson is not using apples and apples, dealing with the comparing apples and apples with the liability. What he's doing is looking at the appropriation side and then mirroring that with the liability. So the liability last year was $4,086,090, which equates to 42,000 days that employees, as a result of their collective bargaining agreement and accumulated leave time, are entitled to as a result of those contracts. However, in 2021, the liability is actually $3,209,000 or 31,410 days, which is a reduction of 11,000 days over that period of time. We are obligated by law to disclose the liability, and the County of Union is very proactive in socking away funds in our accumulated absence trust to meet that obligation instead of having to do what many entities do, which is do a special emergency appropriation over a 5-year period to fund those obligations. So we're being proactive, we're disclosing the liability, and we're putting away funds to meet that obligations as the obligation comes due. As far as the other items on the budget, I can go through them. But I think it's probably best during the budget hearing itself, sir.
Yep. All right, very good, Director. Thank you. Excellent answers as usual. Mr. Clerk, is there anybody else that has comments or we can plug in from the public?
Chairman, there are no other individuals in our queue tonight, nor have I received any emails to read comments or questions into the record.
Okay, very good. So I will close that portion of the meeting and ask for a resolution. Then we'll go back to our ordinance. Let's not forget that. I want to ask for a motion to adopt resolutions 2021-264 through 2021-296. Is that the end number, Jim?
That is correct, Chairman.
All right, I see moved by Commissioner Granados. Can I have a second, please?
Yeah.
Second by Commissioner Muedad. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Garrettson,
Yes.
Commissioner Granados,
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak,
Aye. I'm sorry, Mr. Clerk, I'm sorry. Aye, with the exception of 2021-289, for which I will abstain.
duly noted. Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Leone,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Chair Mirabella.
Aye.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative with the exception of one resolution, Resolution 2021-289. We had 8 votes in the affirmative and 1 abstention.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you all. We will go back now since we are past the 5:30 mark, and we'll look at our for second reading ordinance 826-2021, and I'll ask the clerk of the board to read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 826-2021, a capital ordinance of the County of Union, New Jersey, authorizing the providing of funding to the Union County Improvement Authority in connection with the Union County Government Complex project in, by, and for the county, appropriating therefore the sum of $16,750,000 and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the capital improvement fund and capital surplus of the county.
Okay, very good. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on ordinance number 826-2021 only. Mr. Clerk, let's go through the roll of the people who have signed up to make comments.
Chairman, there's one individual in our queue by the name of Mr. Bruce Patterson.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, the floor is yours.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board. This is Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. I do appreciate Bidley Taylor being proactive in actually answering what I was expecting to ask on this ordinance. Just for further clarification, that $16.8 million, exactly what is this for? The title of the ordinance doesn't say anything at all except government complex reference. But anyway, I'd like a full breakdown of items and costs for the public so they understand why the taxpayers are footing the bill for $16.8 million. As to her explanation for the capital improvement funds and the capital surplus, it's leftover monies. So I guess we're not borrowing, as you noted. So that's great. I'm happy to hear that. The question is, so this capital surplus from the cancellation of whatever other bonds, this is an offline item out of the budget, because I know there's all those other line items that are not in the budget. It's some separate balance sheet. So I guess, is that where the money is sitting right now? That's going to pay for the $16.8 million. And I assume that's what you're saying is that we're not going to borrow any of the $16.8 million. That we're actually going to be able to fund it with cash on hand. So those questions would be great if somebody could clear it up. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Patterson. Director Taylor, can you further address that, please?
Absolutely. Through you, Chairman. First, it's important to note that we have nothing that is offline. All of the finances are actually fully disclosed, and they are addressed either in our AFS and or annual audit. The budget that many people are familiar with only deals with the current fund. In the state of New Jersey, all local entities, we actually operate off of what's known as fund accounting. So the operating budget is dealing with Fund 1, which is our general ledger. As far as the capital improvement fund and the capital surplus, that's in the capital fund. So when we need to appropriate items out of the capital fund for any projects, we then have to have an authorization which comes to the board via an ordinance. And in this case, we're appropriating $16.75 million for the UC government complex. Some of that, of the 16.75, $15 million of it goes to the GMP for the proposed redeveloper to construct the project. 1.75 goes to what we call the owner's rep and the construction administrative services, the soft costs associated with ensuring that the redeveloper actually constructs the building consistent with our bridging documents. So it's more the technical piece of compliance dealing with this project. So 15 is hard costs, and the other 1.75 is dealing with the soft costs for the project.
Okay, Director, thank you very much. Noting there's no other comments, I will formally close this portion of the meeting and ask Commissioner Hudak to please move ordinance number 826, 2021 for final reading.
Thank you, Chairman. I move ordinance number 826-2021 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
Thank you, Commissioner Hudak. May I have a second, please?
Second, Chairman.
Seconded by Commissioner Kowalski. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Chairman. Commissioner Garrettson. Commissioner Granados.
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak.
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Leone.
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad.
Aye.
Commissioner Staton.
Yes.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative on ordinance number 826.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We're going to move now directly to the reports of our commissioners, comments and reports. And I'm going to go in my order that I have on my screen. I don't know if it's the same for all of you, and start with Commissioner Leone.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a nice and wonderful Easter and Passover. And I want to acknowledge those that celebrate and observe Ramadan, which begins on April 12th. In addition, I want to thank again all the county directors and staff for their ongoing work at the vaccine sites and the food distributions. Also, April is Autism Awareness Month, which is something I hold dear to my heart. There are 70 million individuals worldwide that suffer from autism, and it is the fastest growing developmental disability in the United States. My heart goes out in acknowledgement to the parents and educators that make a big difference in all these individuals' lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll move to Commissioner Kowalski.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to add my thanks to all of the county administration and staff for the work on the vaccine. I know especially now that it's being opened up for very soon for people of all ages, it's especially important that we at the County of Union are making so many vaccine sites available. So that is a huge effort, and I appreciate everyone's cooperation on that. Also want to thank the teachers of Union County for their ongoing work. I know many challenges have happened for them, and I also know that many of them were on hand for the vaccination session we held for them earlier this week. So thanks to them, thanks to all the commissioners who have attended and facilitated, and that's it for me, Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Kowalski. We'll move to Commissioner Hudak.
Thank you, Chairman. Briefly, I wanted to also extend my compliments and thanks to all the staff and volunteers at our vaccination sites. I know that those efforts ramped up considerably this week, and it's going to continue to grow over the coming weeks. So great job so far. And as the weather improves, following these holiday weekends, I encourage Union County residents to take advantage of our parks and beautiful open spaces, but be reminded that social distancing and mask wearing when appropriate is still in effect, and we're so close to the finish line. So everyone should continue to be respectful as we get more people vaccinated here in Union County. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mudet.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to bank my comments for tonight. I think the other commissioners have said what I have been thinking and feel. So thank you.
You're evoking the Estrada clause of banking your time.
I am.
Very good. I'm sure former freeholder, never commissioner, but former freeholder Estrada will know that his name came up very positively tonight, and I will call him and let him know that. So thank you, Commissioner. We'll move to Commissioner Garrettson.
Well, we got to give him double that pleasure. Let me bank my time too.
Okay,
But
Doctor.
have a great
Very
evening.
good. Very good.
Oh, thank you for
Congratulations
joining.
to you. Very good. We'll move to Commissioner Granados, who I feel is not going to bank his time.
I want to bank. Sorry, no, I don't. I think Commissioner Leon said it properly and acknowledged all the different individuals who continue to make a difference when it comes to providing vaccines and to COVID testing and recognizing Autism Awareness Month, and also acknowledge today on National Empanada Day, a local restaurant, Brisa's, who made donations to our county police, corrections, sheriff's department, our vaccination center here in the County of Union, and to local police and fire departments in providing over 2,000 empanadas as a small token of his appreciation in giving back to the frontline workers that continue to make a difference day in, day out. So with that said, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Staton.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I share the same sentiments as my colleagues, and I will bank my time as well. 3 times is a charm. But I would like to congratulate Dr. Angela Garrison. We are all so very proud of you and your huge achievement. So we look forward to the graduation and the party. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Well put, Commissioner Staton, and congratulations to Commissioner Dr. Garrettson. We'll move to the Vice Chair, Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Chairman. That was actually one of the things that I wanted to do, was to congratulate Dr. Garrettson on her accomplishment. And yes, I too look forward very much to the party. I echo the sentiments of everyone regarding our all the volunteers and all the people who are working at our vaccination sites. And I think if I continue to talk, I will still hold this year's record for shortest meeting. So I feel as if I should talk for the next several minutes, but I will not. I will just say, though, that I also would like to acknowledge that it is also National Poetry Month. And we will be, as a county, we will be having a couple of events for National Poetry Month. And go to ucnj.org and look on our events calendar and participate. That's what I have, Chairman. So thank you so much. And congratulations again, Dr. Garrettson.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Appreciate you. I will jump on and add to the comments that my fellow commissioners have said, because I don't think we can say it enough, really, the hard work that everybody is doing in the testing center, in the food distribution, in the vaccinations. Listen, from President Biden through Governor Murphy, through our state senators, Scutari, Crine, and Kane, all pushing for more doses and more vaccines. We've been very lucky to get the support, now unified support from the top down to us, and it's really paying off. The county manager and the deputy county manager, directors Anderson and Moran. I would be remiss if I didn't specifically mention Vicki Drake and Jess Cohen for their stupendous effort, juggling multiple priorities in multiple sites. I saw commissioners at almost all of them throughout the week, and know the effort that's going on to meet the demand in our community for these vaccinations. And I think we're rising to the challenge as we do. Now, I do think, the work ahead of us is going to be, and I want to thank Commissioner Staton in particular for her work on making sure we're reaching out to those communities really in need. The Vice Chair, Commissioner Garrettson, participated in that forum last week with the doctors, and I think that's going to go a long way towards helping the people who maybe are reluctant to get a vaccination or to get in line for a shot. That's the time that we're going to start switching over from meeting the demand that we have, which we're doing, to switching our focus to encouraging people who perhaps are reluctant to get the vaccination. That's really important. And I appreciate the work of all the commissioners, but in particular those are reaching into our neighborhoods, in the nooks and crannies of our county, to pull people out, to let them know that it's safe, that it's important, that they need to get it done. So that effort is going to be enhanced over the next couple of months as we work hard to meet our demand, but then reach out to those other communities. Our county employees have stepped up, and I mean that by those who are coming to the food distribution, those that are managing their day-to-day job, but also going to the vaccination center or the food distributions or the testing center while maintaining their regular day job. The labor unions who have stepped up and started sending volunteers to our food distributions. If people want to volunteer, there's a way to do that in the community. And I encourage people to sign up and give back to the community. If you're fortunate, if you have some time on a Saturday to help those in need, reach out to us. We will take the help, and we appreciate it. Switching gears a little bit, I had some terrific experiences recently at Ashbrook for dinner with my family, and I encourage people to go check that out and go have dinner there. It's a wonderful spot. You oversee the golf course, you have a dinner or a cocktail or something. It's really a wonderful place for families and for people who want to get out a little bit and sit outside. The weather is nice, and we should do that. And support your local businesses as well. Your restaurants, do what you can to help them as well. And I know the commissioners are doing their part. I encourage all residents to do their part as well. The last thing, I'm surprised Commissioner Muded didn't speak more about the Falcon Grant, because I know that's one of her favorite things that's really going on right now. And I know her kids are probably every day looking for the nesting, the eggs to hatch and all the rest. So I know typically Commissioner Kowalski is the champion of the Paragon family, but I don't know, this year maybe I'm shifting the focus over to Commissioner Muded, but I appreciate that effort. I mean, I back when it started, I didn't know it was going to become this thing that it certainly has become. And to have these Paragon Falcons in Elizabeth is just a wonderful thing. And the Falcon cam was ingenious, and I don't spend all that much time on there, but I do try to check it out to see what's going on. And the Falcons never disappoint. So Commissioner Mudet, I appreciate your advocacy and your support of that particular program. You're the greatest. All right. So if there's nothing else, that's going to conclude my comments. And the vice chair didn't need to worry about me stretching the meeting because I had a lot of comments myself, right? So you still have the record. I acquiesce to you. And with all of that said, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Hudak and seconded by Commissioner Granado. Commissioner Staton, I'm going to give it to you. And Mr. Clerk, please call the roll and we'll be done.
Commissioner Garrettson. Commissioner Granados.
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak.
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Leone.
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Mudet.
Aye.
Commissioner Staton.
Yes.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
And I see Angela Garrettson, Commissioner.
Yes.
You have 9 votes in the affirmative to adjourn the meeting, Chairman.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Good work.
Bye.
Appreciate you.